the National Palace Museum, one of the largest, oldest, and most famous institutions in Taiwan, and it's about to celebrate an important anniversary, 100 years since its founding.
2025年，明年的话就是故宫整个故宫历史的100年，全新的思维，去创造故宫，然后让故宫成为一个不仅是台湾的故宫、亚洲的故宫，也是一个世界的故宫。
The museum is planning special events and exhibits next year to mark the occasion, while continuing work on additions and extensions to be finished by 2027. However, there is a caveat to next year's centenary. The date they are celebrating is not the establishment of the museum here in Taipei, which opened in 1965, but rather when it first opened to the public in 1925 in the Forbidden City, the former Chinese imperial palace in the heart of Beijing, next to Tiananmen Square. The Palace Museum in China is one of the country's biggest tourist attractions. Every year, millions of people visit the massive complex of buildings and courtyards where China's emperors once lived, but without most of the art treasures of the imperial collection. Those priceless artifacts were brought to Taiwan by the defeated nationalist government in the late 1940s after the Chinese Civil War. The result is that the world's greatest collection of imperial Chinese art is held in Taipei, and the National Palace Museum says it still makes sense to date itself from its founding in Beijing.
国立故宫博物院，它记载的就是从1925年，只不过当时它是在北京紫禁城里面，然后经过了多次因为战争，它的迁移、辗转，基本上这些东西都是在目前在台湾我们中华民国的政府那时候所做的，包括这个名称一直维系到现在，所以到明年这个名称、这个实体、这个政府，它还是100年。
The museum is one of many institutions whose name and history date back to the period when the Republic of China controlled mainland China. And while much of the museum's collection is focused on the history of China, museum staff say they are conscious that Taiwan's history isn't only rooted there.
那从最早都没有汉人来之前，他是原住民，这一点不可否认嘛。原住民的文化，汉人能把它遗忘吗？当然不可以啊。中华从1949年正式过来的时候，那些文化就是台湾的其中一个文化，我们必须用这种方式来想这个文化的种类，它的多元性。
The museum remains popular with both foreign and domestic tourists. The centennial of its founding may provide an opportunity for curators and visitors alike to reflect not only on the priceless art held within its walls, but also how those walls came to be.